dirty money, from, well, I don't, let me see, I probably need to reread it, but it was like real estate agents dealing with dirty money, allowing people to buy properties in the UK,
Yeah.
knowing the money was dirty.
Hey, Thomas.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Awesome. So we're just talking about like what we understood that this week's topic was, and how it was kind of hard.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, so I was just sharing my example of just how with the corporate veil, basically they're not held liable for something that the company does or the company falls short on. So, but there's cases where like such as fraud or different things like that, or like what Myrna was just saying was there's dirty money, there was something illegal going on. Then the people aren't protected anymore. And so like my situation was the chief compliance officer for Volkswagen knew about what they were doing to get in the emissions to pass the American standards so that they could sell their cars here, but the cars actually wouldn't perform to that standard when they were actually sold. That got no protection, but it was super hard to find anything.
Yeah, it was hard. It was confusing. Maybe we saw a lot of examples, but it was kind of confusing. It was really not that clear.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if I would have just looked into more of the articles, I would have found something. But yeah, it was tough.
I went through Go ahead.
I found a ton of articles online that were like from like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, but nothing recent.
Oh, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of recent. It's just maybe they're not famous yet. Well, I heard about the about yours, Tyler. The cars. It was on the news, right?
Yeah, it's out there right now. That compliance officer, they tried to like get an appeal. They held him without bail. He's actually from Germany, so he's in prison here in the United States. They held him without bail, and they tried to make an appeal that they tried to appeal that decision so that he could get out on bail for like $1.6 million. And the court decided that if they did that, he would just go back to Germany and they'd never get him back. So he was denied bail again. So that was very recent. That was like this week.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, the only one I could find was talking about compliance officers and how they were like less worried about liability.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I searched all kinds of keywords and stuff. It's good.
Yeah, so as long as you're following the rules, you're separate from your corporation, then you should be good. That's what I understood. So let's go through. I kind of thought up an example, like I do a lot. I had some extra time at work today. So basically my example is a guy, his name's Benjamin. So Benjamin's button business was beginning to grow very fast. To protect himself from liability of debts, Benjamin decided to license and file his company as an LLC. Over the next 4 years, Benjamin Button Business LLC grew very large and was bringing in a lot of cash. Many credit lines were open to be able to meet demand. This would have been easy to pay back with the projected sales, but unfortunately that success didn't continue when Sally's Button Shop opened and drove him out of business. Benjamin was relieved he had filed his company as an LLC. When filing for bankruptcy, it was found that Benjamin was using the same account for his own personal use that Benjamin's Button Business also did business out of. So that's my example that I thought of. And so basically the explanation is normally under an LLC, you're covered. You're not liable for the debts of the company. No one can come after Benjamin under an LLC, but since he was using the same bank account as the business, his personal funds are mixed in with his business funds. And so now Benjamin is actually liable for all of the company's all of the company's debts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Mhm.
So that's kind of what I had. And then, so like the question I put was, will Benjamin be held liable for the debts the company incurred? And the correct answer would be yes, because he used the same bank account as the company, so the corporate veil can be pierced.
Okay.
And then the feedback is an owner must be kept separate from the company for them to be considered separate entities. And the wrong answer, number one, I put yes, an LLC does not protect an owner from the company's debts. And while he will be held liable because he didn't separate himself from the company financially, an LLC does typically protect an owner from a company's debts. Wrong answer number two was no, his company is organized as an LLC and he is protected. That is true that he's protected under an LLC, but he was using the same account as the company, so he's not. And then wrong answer number three, I put no, an owner is never liable for the company's debt in any circumstance. And I said this is not true. There are plenty of cases in which an owner is liable. In this case, an LLC does protect an owner, but Benjamin was using the same accounts for personal use. So
Okay.
that's
Perfect.
what I got. Sorry, I kind of just sped through that. My brother's here trying to
Oh, you have to go.
help me out. But does anybody have any questions?
That helped me understand a lot better. I was kind of
Sweet.
just getting
So-
frustrated, not being able to find anything, kind of overthrew me understanding the concept.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I always ask Tyler. He always has a good answer.
Well, I do a lot of Google searching. So I look at a lot of different websites to find my answers. Sometimes the book's confusing, so
The book,
I
the
keep
book is kind of confusing. It moves from one subject to another without an explanation.
so I look at a lot of different articles and things like that to figure it out. But if you have any questions, you can definitely ask me. I usually figure it out. I don't do incredible on the exams, but I do everything else pretty good usually. Okay, well, thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you. You take
Thank you.
care.
See ya.